Hi everyone, this video is for demo how to set up and configure the perpetual and the spot bot. So this is for the perpetual and the spot arbitrage strategy, and this is new bot I created recently. This bot has no UI as my previous bot because I want to make it quick and easy to set up from editing the JSON file instead of the UI. So UI sometimes confusing people because there's too many fields. So to make it simple, when you download the bot, you should be able to see there's two files. One is the execution file, which is just a command line file. Another is a data folder. Within this folder you can see like two JSON file. One setup is setting. I open this one, let me show you guys this one. Yeah, so this is a key I just created for this demo purpose. I will delete this key after this video. So for example, I have to set up the API key and the secret and the sub account in this setting.json, and a waiting time. Waiting time is when the bot is running, there's a loop. When the bot sends some orders to the FTX exchange, because API has a frequency limit, so you have to put some waiting time there, otherwise FTX will block your bot. And the other JSON file, which is coin, this one is you set up your perpetual and the spot symbol here. So remember, the spot has to be /USD, and this is open spread, this is close spread, and leverage, allow aiding positions, batch size. So let me explain what is open spread and close spread. So if you open the trading view, I have a nice chart here. If you see the watch list, let's say the BNB perpetual and the BNB USD. So this is a BNB perpetual and BNB USD. That's all the coin pairs from FTX. So if you do this using BNB perpetual minus BNB USD divided by BNB perpetual and times 100, so you calculate the percentage difference between the perpetual and the USD. So you can see the chart is look like this. The good thing is because it's arbitrage, right? So you know, if you enter the spread at 0.25, and technically it will be, because the perpetual and the USD are very correlated pairs, so it will be mean reversal to 0 somehow. So if you open the 1 hour chart instead of 1 minute, because 1 minute maybe it's not very give you a good concept of how the spread goes. So within this 1 hour chart, you can see the spread can go from 0 to like 1%. So 1%, here the number 1 indicated there's 1% between the perpetual and the USD. So perpetual price is 1% higher than the USD. And if the lower end, for example, here is 0.38 minus 0.38, that means the perpetual price can be lower than USD for 0.38. So that's the spread changes. What you can do is that you can make money from the difference of the spread. So for example, you short at here and long at here. That's a bad example. You long at here, you enter your position by long the spread at here, and exit your position by close long. That means you short here, so you make money from the spread changes. But of course you have to add in your face, because there's a market order phase involved. For this spot and the perpetual arbitrage bot, you have to use the exactly market order to fill the spread, so you get the exactly spread as you want. Let me back to this here. So if I make a setting, so this is setup pair is I set up for the SRM, and the spot is SRM USD. So the open spread, because I want to short perpetual and long USD, because with this perpetual and spot arbitrage bot, you always have to long the spot and short perpetual. You can't short spot and long perpetual, because for the spot you cannot short, you can only long, right? So that's why your open spread must be always higher than the close spread, then you make profit. Because like back to this chart, your open spread here and you close spread maybe around here, so you make the spread gain from here to here. Yeah, so you make this gain, but of course you have to deduct your fees. And the leverage is the leverage you set up in let me show you guys my sub account. So my sub account here, I put, for example, I want to do SRM perpetual, right? So I set the leverage maximum leverage to be 20, but in the bot settings I don't want to risk to so much. I just set to max size 10, and the batch size is the leverage here, leverage 10. So this is exactly same as this one, but for the FTX exchange I set this higher for safety, and in the bot I set this lower. And allow adding the position, this is flag, you can set to 0 or you can set to 1. So allow adding position means sometimes you want to exit your trade, all your positions. You don't want to keep adding your position anymore, so you set this one to 0. That means it will only reduce your position, it will not adding your position. Even if the spread is higher than open spread is higher than this 1.5, you will not adding your position. You can only reduce and close your position. So that's the time when you think, okay, I don't want to play with these pairs, I want to exit all your position. You set this one to 0, but normally I set this one to 1. And the batch size is for each time how many coins you want to enter or exit the position. And this max size, that means in total how many coins you want to enter and exit the position. And what this buffer means, buffer is interesting. So remember, this bot is a high frequency bot, so it is scanning the order book for real time, so there's no delay, no time stop, anything. It's just real time. So for example, when it scans the order books, looks like, if the order books looks like this, so let's say this is ask side and this is bid side. So this is ask, this is offer or bid, whatever you call it. So ask side has like, for example, 100 best ask, but with volume maybe only 1, and 101 with volume only 2, and 102 with volume 3, with size, volume I mean size. And in this offer side, let me put it properly, ask, offer. With this bid side, you have 99 with volume 1, 98 with volume 2, 97 with volume 3. right? So when you set the batch size to here, if current spread is 1.5, right? So how do you calculate the current spread? Do you only use this ask price and this offer price? No, because it depends on your size. If your size is 2, then you cannot use this price. You have to, because this size is only 1, so you want to have 2, right? So that means the price you get will be 101, because 1 is not sufficient, and then you add another 1 from this, right? So because the bot scanning the order book on the real time, and because if you are using the bot and other people also using the bot, so you know if you send the order with size 2, you may get the price 101, but I want to add some buffer. So buffer means you use this buffer number times your batch size. So 2 times 1.5 is 3. So you wanna it's not good example with 1.5. So if I took the like 2 for the example, then you go back to here. So 2 times 2 means 4. So that means you will use the 102, this price, to calculate the spread, because although you can take the 2 size for this value 1.2 plus is 3, right? It's more than 2, but because other bot doing the same thing, I assume there is a real-time like other bot, and also if many of you using my bot, then you will have these competition issues. So you have to add some buffer. So let's say if you want to put a good bigger buffer like 10 or 100, that's up to you, right? So in this example, I put like buffer 2. So you will using the size 4 to calculate the spread. So that means the spread the price you using is 102. So yeah, so that's what the buffer means. So set the buffer properly. That's very critical, because otherwise you will see lots of order you cannot be filled. So it will end up filled with market order instead of a limit order. And the mini ratio, that's the field for the related to the liquidations. For example, in here you can see this example margin fraction and maintain margin requirement. So let me give you my actual another account for demo purpose. So okay, so you can see here I have a margin fractions 82 and the maintain margin requirement 3. So that ratio is this value divided by this value. So when you will get liquidated, you cannot look at this liquidation price, because this liquidation price is keep changing. You are doing the hedge. You buy the BTMX perpetual. You short the BTMX perpetual, but I also holding the BTMX spot. So it's hedging with almost exactly the same size. So 7930, right? So 7919. So a little bit big different. Why it's different, I'll explain later. But always the spot size should be larger than BT perpetual size a little bit. But the point is, for here, the point is, if you want to avoid the liquidation, you have to make sure margin fractions is always larger than this maintenance margin requirement. So I using the ratio to set up here minimum ratio 20. That's too large. So normally 10 is enough, because then this is calculated by this one divided by this one. So if I calculate now, it's around 20, 23, 24, something, yeah, more than that. So 27, yeah, so it's more than that. So I'm quite safe. So this is control your liquidation. So if you reach this, so for example, the minimum requirement is 3. For example, my current margin fraction is 30. Then this bot will reduce your spot and the perpetual at the same time to keep your ratio safe, so you will never get liquidated. Okay, back to the previous things I haven't explained. So why I have to put the spot coin size a little bit larger than the perpetual, because the fees for each trade, if you go back to my trade history, for each trade the fee is actually calculated in, let me order history. So for example, spot USD average fee, where can I see the fee? Maybe it's go back to the order history. I'm in the trade history. Yeah, so here the fee is, yeah, so here fee is a BTMX, because each time if you want to buy some, like buy 15, here I buy 15 BTMX, also I sell 15 BTMX perpetual. So BTMX perpetual, the fee is calculated in the USD, that's fine, but for USD the fee is calculated in the coin itself. So that means you cannot always buy exactly same amount as perpetual. There's an actual fees be deducted by this one. So the bot is always by a very small tiny the bot is always maintain a very small amount of the coins to pay the fees. So that's why you can see the perpetual and the USD, the coin, the spot and the perpetual, the size may be different for some time. That's very normal. Okay, so that's for the setup. I think that's pretty clear now. So let me run the bot. So to run the bot, it's easy. You just double click. There's two ways. One way is you can just double click, but if you get the things failed, for example, you run double click and the screen will, yeah, so sorry, so when you double click, the screen will come out and very quickly it disappeared. Where's my screen? So that means there's something wrong with your JSON file or something. So my recommendation is you run it from PowerShell. How do I open this? I press Shift and right click, and then there's open PowerShell window here. Maybe for you it's CMD. So I run it here. Oops, sorry. Oh, sorry, to run it. So failure to read the date coin.json file. Yes, because I haven't saved it. Let me go back to my coin.json file. See anything wrong? See, I missed a comma. So this is JSON, right? So JSON is for each k value pair, it ends with a comma, except for the last one you don't need a comma. So now it's a valid JSON. So I rerun it again. So when you run this in the PowerShell, remember to dot and slash and then main.exe. Okay, then you can say subscribe order book. Yeah, so it will showing the live changes for your order book. So this spread is calculated live with order book change and with exactly the size you put in your JSON file. So when I see the size you put in your JSON file is like batch size, because your batch size, for example, I put 200, 300 1000, it will largely impact the calculation of the spread, because you put 200 means you want to enter your aiding or reduce your position by 200, so it has to make the order book have that size on that a particular price you want. So that's why I always put a very tiny or small size here. In this case, it will calculate it correctly, and also it will show your positions and perpetual position and the USD positions. So I put the open spread 1.5. It's very large number. Actually, the number is never gonna be reached for the SIM for demo purpose, because I don't want to enter the position for now. But if you look at this chart, this is SIM perpetual minus SIM USD minus divided by SIM perpetual times 100. So you can see what's the normal open spread you can enter. It's around this level, 0.5, and exit around -1, right? So you have to set up this like 1.5 something. That's the technically you can get this spread. To fix that, you have to Control C to stop, or you can just close this window to stop, or you can just press Control C. I put this 0.5 and go back, run it. The beauty of this is once it run, it will always run. It shouldn't give you any crash, because the bot itself has crash protections. If it crash, it will auto restart. So normally it will not give you the crash directly, and you can just watch these things run. So beauty of the bot is, if you're having this bot running, then you can get in and out the position, or I mean you can keep aiding and reduce your position by those spike. So the spike here, so you were aiding your positions. When you have the spike here, you will reduce the positions. That's why you're making money from the spread change. And because this is live, it's not like quant zone, it give you 15 seconds. It's live, not even 0.0 second. The only time delay is here. You have to set the waiting time. So this waiting time is not for the monitoring the order book. It's when you executing your orders, right? So when you're executing orders, you cannot execute your order like 1,000 in 1 second. You have to put some time buffer. So I set the waiting time 0.3 here. So that means you cannot run 2 orders less than 0.3 seconds. Yeah, and also that's the minimum value. If you set this one less than 0.3, for example, you set 0.1, it will automatically reset to 0.3. So that's the minimum values. Everyone are on the same values. You can set this larger. For example, because this bot is you can do with multiple coins. You can, for example, you copy the whole folder into another folder and change the coins to whatever coins you like, BNB or BTC or whatever coins you like. But if you have a multiple bot running, make sure you're adding this one to a larger number. Otherwise, your IP will get blocked. This is a high frequency bot, FTX. If you're running, for example, 10 coins, right? And luckily or unluckily, the 10 coins are all aiding the positions at the same time because the open spread hit or close spread hit. Then you will send massive orders to the FTX. So if you set this one too low, your IP may be blocked. But the 0.3 should be the safe one. So you can see this is keep changing. Actually, and also I want to show you when you first time start the bot, it will generate a log here. Let me open the log. So you can see the log is like this. So remember, I started the bot twice. First time I started and then I changed something and then restarted. So it will have the logs like here. So you can read every time the bot starts, it will showing you what's your current USD balance and what's your setup, what's your perpetual, what's your spot, what's your open spread, hollow spread, leverage. If you say anything is not what you want, stop your bot immediately. So this is give you a chance to verify everything is what you want. And by the way, I can show you, because this one is never enter any positions. Let me do a risk stuff. Let me shut down this one, and what I'll do is I do 0. So most of the time it's more than 0, but in that in that means I'm gonna lose money, because 0 is not good spread to enter. But I just want to demo something. Okay, so I wasted some money and show you guys what's the live tradings. Now I gonna run it again because I save it and the minimum ratio, everything's correct. I'm gonna run it. Okay, so it's 0, so it should have something happens. I think it's larger than 0. I have to wait this one to larger than 0 instead of a 0. Just wait. Okay, it's larger than 0. Then I go back to the logs. See, the logs has been updated. So you can see current open order blah blah is higher than desired open order open spread threshold. So that means you set 2 limit order, and these 2 limit order all executed. Yeah, and beautiful with all limit order executed with good price. And here is another time higher than another 2 limit order with order executed. Because remember, my batch size is 1, right? My max size is 2, right? So that's why only 2 orders execute. 2 order means 2 pairs of order, each with size 1. And after that, although the size is higher than my threshold, I will never get a chance to aiding my positions. I will only get a chance to reduce my positions, but not aiding, because it's more than my designer size. And then if I go back to my FTX account, let me change my FTX account. Okay, let me change. So this is order history. You can see here order history. I have like this: size 1, size 1, size 1, size 1, all filled, right? Yeah, and the trade history, you can see this all size field. Yeah, I was playing Matics with this test account before. So this account DNSRM is the account you specified here. DNSRM. You can create whatever sub account, and make sure the key and the secret is have the trade permission for this sub account. So that's it. Okay, so another topic. So this bot is a high frequency bot. It can beat all the QuantZone and the most of other bots using the REST API. So why I release this bot to public? The reason is, so first of all, this bot will be free, and free forever, if you using my referral code to register with FTX. And remember, if you use my referral code, you get 10% off of the trading fees. Remember, this bot is running all this with a limit order, but it run limit order, not post only. So it will having some fees. So you have to calculate the fees. If you without using my referral code, then what you have to pay a fee is, I think it's 0.07%. But if you're using my referral, you only pay 0.06% fees. So both in and out. So remember, 0.06 times 4 is 0.24. So what does it mean? It means if you try to get in this spread here and try to get out of this spread, you make sure the spread you in and out, the difference is more than 0.25. Otherwise you still lose money because you pay the fees. Because you have to pay the fees. I can't make it really limit order, because the purpose of this bot is to get exactly spread you want to get in. To run that is you have to keep monitoring the order book, like that. So that guarantee you to get the best order book, like your designed spread. So you have to, like, the reason I released this bot is, if you check my live trade, I can show you my live trade. Yeah, so this is my really live trade. I reached my maximum position for the coins I trade, so I cannot keep adding my positions. So this is a really good chance for you guys adding the position, because I set up, for example, I set up the threshold at 0.3 to open my positions, but because I already used up all my fund, I cannot keep adding. So it's good chance for you guys to add in the position, because I can't catch all the good spread, right? Because, for example, it's keep getting the very high spread but never low spread appear. So that means I cannot reduce my position. I can only keep adding the position. It's good because I know one day when the spread is low, I can exit all my position with profit. But in the meantime, if I reach my maximum positions, that means I have no fund. I have no like unlimited fund to keep adding my positions. So I leave this chance to you guys. Like, you can add in your position here, and then when the spread is lower, you can exit your position with profit. Yes, so that's the purpose I released the bot. So in the meantime, if you're using my referral to register with the FTX, you get fee commissions, and I can get paid by the FTX commission a little bit as well. So it's a win-win strategy. Since we entered the position with 2-2, so you can see the current position is 2 and the current spot position is almost 2, because there's a phase for the spot, so it's almost exactly the same. So when the difference of perpetual and the spot is larger than the minimum trading size of SIM, the bot will balance them too. And you can see your total values here, and the net USD value, and the margin ratio is 330. So if I go back to my FTX account, you can see the 990 divided by 3 is around 330. So as long as this number is larger than here, you will not get liquidated. So that's fine. So how about I try to exit the position? Let me stop here. Control C to stop the bot, and then I change this close position to 0 as well. That means I lose some money. I lose the fees, right? Yeah, because for this demo I'm gonna lose something. Oh, hold on, stop. I don't want to add in position again. I change it to 0. You can change this to 0, or you can just change this open spread to a very large number, which will never happen. So I change this one to a very large number, which will never happen, and then make sure my position will be exceeded. Okay, now I rerun it again. So the close spread need to be lower than, so this one should be lower than 0. So since I can't exit now, let me change it to 0.4. Oh, that means I lose a lot, but anyway, for the demo purpose. Okay, so this one is less than 0.4, so I believe my position will be closed. Let me go back to here and click here. I can see there are so many. Okay, here open is higher than design. Okay, close short. So close short spread is lower than designer close threshold. So my order has been closed. Right? Yeah, I think if I go back to okay, so here it's actually decreased the position field because the minimum size of the spot SRM coin is 1. So when the size is 0.9999, you cannot sell this 0.99. That's why you cannot reduce the perpetual. So that's normal. So just be aware of that. There's a small minimum size concept in the coins. Okay, last things, remember to use my referral code to sign up with the FTX account. That's only conditions you can use the free bot. And this free bot is not this delta neutral bot, it's perpetual and spot arbitrage bot. I'm still thinking if I should release this bot on my website because that will create a lot of competitions. Think about if everyone using the same bot to do the same order book scanning and trading, then the competition is really like heavy competitions, so beware of that. Yes, so there will be no license. I will not charge any license fees for that. It's just a free one, and it's only currently it's only the command line bot with the Windows version only. I'm not releasing the Linux version or Mac versions. And if you already sign up with FTX, then you may not be able to use this bot, or you figure out another way to sign up this new account. So the reason is I don't want everyone to use this bot. Although I released this bot because I promised in the Discord channel to some of you guys, but I really don't want to release this bot to too many people, because currently I using the bot myself to making decent money with one of the coins. So if so that's all my orders. Like you can see there's a lot of orders sending here. Yeah, it's about a lot, and I make decent money with this bot. So I'm not sure one day I release this bot to many people, there's what's the competition will be there. Yeah, because there's too many. So in my real life trading with this one, I don't have any chance. I hope I have unlimited fund to get all the good spread, but I don't have. So that's why I want to share this to public. Now I clean up the API key and the secret and the account. That's the JSON file you will got when you first time download my bot. And if you don't put any API key and secret, or you put the wrong API key and secret, when you run the bot for the first time, you will get the error, say FTX connection failed. And if you try to change this key, like the key to something else, and save it, then you run the bot. Bot will do the validation, and it will telling you the incorrect field in the settings. So as a JSON file, make sure each key is exactly the same as you first time download my bot, and you can change the value. Same for the coins. You cannot change any keys in the JSON file. You can only change the values here. If you change any keys in the JSON file, it will fail the bot. Okay, so another thing I want to mention is very important. The bot has only connection to the FTX exchange. It doesn't connect to anywhere like my license server or whatever. It's different from my previous delta neutral bot, so it only connect to the FTX. Even if my server down or my website down, will not impact you to using this bot. So my previous delta neutral bot, there's a version number, so it shows what is the latest version, and also it checks your license with my server, but there's no more. So this bot, I don't want to provide any license. If you can use it with my referral ID, just use it, but if you can't, just don't use it, because I don't want too many people using this bot. And another thing I want to mention is, because this bot this is a console bot, it's not the UI bot. The UI bot I using a different language, which is encrypted into the machine code, but this one is not encrypted into the machine code. So that's why the packaging tools got some incompliant with the virus check. So if you upload my binary file, which is if you upload this binary file into the like there's a website checking the virus. I know lots of people using this website to checking this the virus. It will show you there are some virus, but that's because the packaging file is not anything wrong with my code. If you don't trust my bot, don't use it, or you can just use it on the VPS. You can get the free VPS for 12 months from the AWS Windows server. They call it EC2 server. So you can get a free 12 months free EC2 server with Windows, of course, and then running my bot there. Yeah, because of these packaging tools, I can't really make this website showing my bot is virus free, because it all happens to the packaging tools. It's nothing to do with my bot itself. You will get like 7 to 5 warning about the virus. I can't avoid that. So, but the one thing I can guarantee is all the network connection with the bot is only FTX. So if you can set up a firewall only allowed FTX API, like I think it's API .ftx.com. So if you only allowed FTX connection, it's fine. Or you can using the a tools called Wireshark. What tools? It's called Wireshark. Yeah, so this is tools, but it check all the network packages between your machine and like in and out from your machines. So you can scan my bot whatever way you want. So I guarantee it's safe, and it only have a network connection to the FTX. Yeah, so that's the last word I want to say. So it got 8 errors, 8 like warnings, but there's no virus. Yeah, but this website, I can't force this website to report like no alarm. Maybe I can only click here. Nothing doesn't work. That's all for today. Thanks guys.